Well, for the very latest from Tehran, let's bring in our correspondent Reza Sayar. Reza, the Iranian president has been very quick to react to Donald Trump's speech at the White House. What has Hassan Rouhani been saying?
Yeah, President Hassan Rouhani delivered a live televised address at about 10 p.m. local time here last night, about 2 hours after President Trump delivered his speech in Washington. And based on what we heard from these that was generated during the negotiations of this nuclear deal in 2014, 2015, and certainly the goodwill that was generated with the signing appears to be gone, because what we heard last night was all that bitter rhetoric, the vitriol, the harsh criticism that many Iranians, many Americans have heard for much of the past 40 years. Mr. Trump started it by pretty much depicting Iran as one of the most dangerous countries in the world, a rogue nation led by a dictatorship that's engaging in terrorist activity and poor behavior in the region. President Rouhani responded by calling Mr. Trump's speech lies and false allegations. He suggested that Mr. Trump should take a history lesson to learn about the violence and the destruction that the U.S. had fueled in the region. He also reminded the president that it was the U.S. that had twice used the atomic bomb. And I think this is what many supporters of the nuclear deal were concerned with, that if President Trump decertified this deal, that things would deteriorate into the tension and the turmoil that these two countries have experienced over much of the past 4 years. But probably the most important thing that President Rouhani pointed out in his speech, that Iran is sticking with this deal. They're not going to be the first to violate it. However, if another country violates it, they'll be quick to act. So Mr. Rouhani, at least initially, making a statement that suggests that Iran doesn't view the president's decertification as a violation. That means the deal is still there, still intact, albeit hanging by a thread.
And Reza, in wider terms and wider across the region where you are, what does Trump's speech mean for the future of this very hard hammered out deal?
Yeah, I think it's going to pose a challenge for President Rouhani to deliver on his promise to improve relations with the West and the U.S., and especially improve on the economy. Remember, after Mr. Trump decertified the deal, he had the U.S. Treasury designate the Revolutionary Guard here in Iran as a terrorist organization that will ban any U.S. entity from doing business with the Revolutionary Guard. Of course, the Revolutionary Guard has direct and indirect ties to many sectors of the economy. Of course, the international banking system is dominated by the U.S. and the U.S. dollar. So even European businesses who are interested in investing and coming here and doing businesses are seemingly going to be much more wary about this designation of the Revolutionary Guard. So certainly with Mr. Trump's move last night, much more challenging days and weeks and months ahead for President Rouhani, who promised that he was going to deliver a better economy with this nuclear deal.
Reza Sayar, our correspondent there in the Iranian capital, thank you very much.